Hello and blessings to everybody who is watching this video. I wanted to do a video based on a Twitter post by Trump where he is seen calling Black Lives Matter protesters thugs. Now, I just want to give you a little bit of background about me. I am a Christian and I was a former Democrat. I was a former Republican. Now I do not affiliate with any political party. So if you could just listen to my commentary completely objectively, that would be awesome. And I like for people to listen objectively so that you don't put me in a box and automatically assume what I'm going to say about what based on a political affiliation. Or if you're interested in hearing more, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe because I have a whole lot more videos coming. Now, just to give you a little background of what happened here as to why Trump called these protesters thugs. I know a lot of you have probably already seen the video. If you haven't, I'll leave a link in the description so that you can click on it and check it out for yourself. But just a little background. There were protesters, Black Lives Matter protesters in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they are seen initiating interaction with diners. Now, there is background to the video that these protesters are talking about where they're saying actually some of the diners, namely the elderly couple that you see in the video, initiated contact with them beforehand, and they are allegedly saying that the elderly man called them disgraceful. Now, we don't have video footage of that, so we don't know if this is 100% factual, but that is what is said. Now, in the video, what we do see is first it starts off with one Black Lives Matter protester who is a part of the LGBT community. He's yelling at a girl through a megaphone. He's insulting her makeup and her hair. And then after that, there's another Black Lives Matter protester who's also from the LGBT community. And he goes right up to the elderly couple and he's like, you know what, F Trump, F the white people who built the system. And he calls the old man an old DICK. Then there's a black woman uh, who from the BLM protest, also from the LGBTQ community. And she walks up to the table, she takes the elderly woman's beer and she chugs it down. This woman in the video, she says that the elderly woman actually invited her to come over for a drink. And she said that the woman said, yeah, go ahead and take my drink. It's okay. I don't mind. But if you're looking at the video, it all happens so fast, you can't even see the older woman's mouth moving to say all of that. So that to me doesn't seem like it was the truth. And then she mentions later Neek, where she says, well, I didn't have time to wait for her to buy me a beer, so I just went ahead and drank hers and without permission. So here's the exact tweet that Trump posted. He said, Black Lives Matter protesters horribly harass elderly Pittsburgh diners, scaring them with loud taunts while taking their food right off their plate. These anarchists, not protesters, are Biden voters, but he has no control and nothing to say. Disgraceful. Never seen anything like it. Thugs. Now, I'm not sure if they took any food. I think he meant to say that they took the drink. Yes, we can clearly see in the video that one of the protesters walks up to the elderly woman and takes her drink. I'm not sure if they are Biden voters or they could not be voting at all. I mean, I don't know. All I know is that things are really, really getting out of control. Now, Trump used the word thug, and I know a lot of people have been offended by his use of the term thug in the past. But, let's look at the definition of a thug. What exactly is a thug? Webster's definition of a thug is a violent or brutish person who is criminal or a bully. And the word brutish means to show little intelligence or sensibility. And according to this video, this seemed to be exactly what these specific protesters were showing. I know a lot of people have argued that there are peaceful protesters, and I don't doubt that. I've seen some peaceful protests, but I've also seen a lot of really violent riots and a lot of really violent protests, and that is not okay. So the behavior that you see in this video does exhibit thug-like behavior. And if you're offended, first of all, I would ask you, do you only think that thugs are Black people? Because we've seen people of all different racial backgrounds who participate in these protests and riots, and they exhibit thug-like behavior. So being a thug is not exclusive to one particular racial group. We are just seeing so much hate, so much violence, just all around the board. And it almost seems like people are looking for any little excuse that they can to uh, be hateful, to be violent. And that is not okay. It is not okay to harass people while they're enjoying a meal. If the older man did say something to the BLM protesters, address it in the moment and move on. There's no need to go up to a person's table and completely harass them, especially older people. Whatever happened to respecting our elders? Whatever happened to men being respectful towards women? You can clearly see that these men, these Black men from the LGBTQ community, disrespecting women. I mean, I'm only in my 30s, but even when I was a kid, men being disrespectful to that capacity to women was just not the norm. This has to stop. We need to show more love in a society that is filled with so much hate. How can you fight hate with more hate? If you really feel like there is racial discrimination and there is hate from non-Black people, why would you as a Black person exhibit that same hate you're trying to fight? It doesn't make sense. Children of God, we should not be participating in these protests and these riots and this looting. If you are a Christian and you are a child of God, know where you are to fight your battle. The Bible says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but we are wrestling against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Our fight is not in the flesh. Let's be more kind, tenderhearted, and forgiving of one another. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe for more, and God bless you. I love you. Spread love and take care of yourselves.